Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious chickpea quiche. In last week's video I showed you how to make just the chickpea tofu, so this week I'm showing you how to make this whole amazing quiche. So to start out with, we're going to add 2 full cups of all-purpose flour. I'm leveling it out just to make sure I'm not packing it too much. Then I'm adding a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt and just whisking that before I add the wet ingredients. So then I'm adding a heaping 1/3 cup of olive oil and about 4 tablespoons of water. This really depends on the climate. Usually the recipe is just 2 tablespoons, but I find I have to add at least double that because our area is so dry. So I'm mixing that around, making sure it's the right consistency. And I want it to be moldable, but still a little flaky and nice. So this is almost there. I have to add like a tablespoon more of water. And this is the consistency I like. It's moldable, but still flaky and nice. So now I'm adding this to the pie plate, and all I have to do is just pack it in. This is literally the easiest, best pie crust recipe I've ever tried, because you don't have to have cold butter or oil or anything like that. You can just whip this all together and it still turns out nice and flaky and beautiful. So I highly recommend this pie crust recipe. So then I put that in the oven to pre-cook for 15 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is what it looks like when it's out. Isn't that pretty? So now it's time to saute the vegetables to be the filling. I'm using broccoli, and I like to saute the broccoli first by itself. I like to get a nice caramelized taste because that really brings out the sweetness and smokiness in the broccoli, and it cooks it really well. Then I'm adding some cremini mushrooms and stirring that up so I get those mushrooms nice and sauteed. And then lastly, I'm adding the onions. I know this seems a little backwards to how people usually stir fry it, but I like really developing the flavors of the broccoli and mushrooms first before adding the onions. So then I'm just adding a little bit of water to get the scruff off the bottom and mixing it all really well together. So now for the chickpea tofu itself, I'm adding 1 full cup of chickpea flour, about a teaspoon of turmeric powder and a teaspoon of salt, with some black pepper just to bring out the health benefits of the turmeric. Then I'm adding a full cup of water, just a 1-to-1 ratio of water to chickpea flour, and whisking that really well so that there's no lumps. So now to a saucepan, I'm adding about 2 cups of broth. I had almost 2 cups of water and added tamari soy sauce to the rest to make it like an easy, quick, flavorful broth. And I also added a little bit of onion and garlic powder, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon each, and some poultry seasoning, which is just the herbs of poultry seasoning, mostly sage. So I'm stirring this really well. And once it comes to a rolling boil, I start adding the chickpea tofu mixture. Just a little bit, and I'm stirring this constantly for about 5 to 7 minutes. 7 minutes seems to be about the time it cooks out all the bitterness. And then I'm adding all of these sauteed vegetables. You don't have to add even half this much. I kind of overfilled it because that's what I like to do. So I just pour that in and level it really well, and then it will set pretty quickly. So I'm setting this for 15 minutes, and then it's time to garnish it with some thinly sliced cherry tomatoes on top. The thinner you slice them, the better. And then I'm putting this in the oven at 425 for about 25 to 30 minutes. I find I have to cook it at least 30 minutes to get the tomatoes nice and crispy and everything cooked together. So that's what it looks like. And then I'm garnishing it with some basil leaves on top so it's pretty and I have some extra depth of flavor to it. And that's basically the quiche. This is so creamy and flavorful and rich without using any eggs. And it's a really easy recipe. And you can like mix and match, and it's really adjustable. So you can add whatever vegetables you like. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe and click on the bell notification to get more of my videos. Thanks. Bye.